Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Nerds with Friends. My name is Cody Leach, and as always, I'm joined by Christian Garcia.
What up?
Christian, do you notice anything different about me?
The glasses? The hair?
No, I got a haircut, yeah.
Oh, nice.
No, yes, I got these cool, dope-ass glasses. They're called Pit Vipers. They were made famous in like the, I think, late 80s, early 90s.
This is great podcast content.
Yeah, if you're on, I'll post a picture there on our Instagram so all of our audio listeners can listen. But you YouTubers, you get the full glorious view of them. Shout out to another podcast, Pex Pals.
Okay.
Which is an Apex Legends podcast run by my buddy Joel and my other new friend Calvin. Basically, I actually met Joel a long time ago when I was in a band, and he would like book our shows. But now I've like re-met him recently through our love of Apex Legends, and he wears these, and I was like, those are fucking sick. So
I feel like you should have worn like a flat top wearing those glasses.
Yeah, I know. Like
more
like,
90s.
I want like a visor upside down and backwards.
There we go.
That would be freaking sick.
Or just pasted a mullet because you don't have hair.
Yeah, exactly. I did the opposite of that. I cut all my hair. Welcome to the show, everybody. Today we are going to be talking a little bit about bad bitches. Or, awesome ladies.
Yeah.
If you don't like
whichever one of those you prefer.
Yeah. But in honor of
Cody meant bitches in the good way.
Yeah. Like my bitches.
Yeah.
Like in a good way.
I'm not sure you're
not
making
like
that better.
my bitches. Like my bitches.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a big difference.
Yeah, totally. It's all about how you intend it. But in honor of Marvel's The Black Widow in theaters, and now, as of listening to this, we decided to honor some of those kick-ass ladies in both movies and other nerdy avenues. So we'll be talking about that later. Thank you for liking and subscribing, clicking that little bell icon down at the bottom so you're notified every week when we come out with new content. And you can find all of our other info at nerdswithfriendspodcast.com. And if you really want to support the show, help us out, help us buy new mics, cables, etc.
Yeah, we actually do need fucking new mic cables.
Yeah, we need to buy some new. I think it's time to make our first withdrawal from the old Patreon coffers to buy some new mic cables.
Cash out on those ads.
Yeah, exactly. And you can do that at patreon.com/nerdswithfriends. Become a monthly supporter. Or you can do a one-time thing, too. If you just want to give us one little burst of money, get one of the higher tiers, that's up to you. We do appreciate
one of our buddies from Imaginary Ramblings had told me that at the end of our last episode, we had a Volvo ad.
Yeah.
And he was just like, I feel like I'm too poor to listen to your podcast now.
Well, he's right.
Don't stop listening. No, don't
stop listening.
Just don't buy a Volvo.
If you're not listening to this on a like Macintosh hi-fi system with a cigar and a glass of cognac, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, you're not our target audience. We're not getting Kia ads on this bitch.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Speaking of poor people, one of our favorite companies, Wormwood Gaming, who does all the fancy like gaming furniture and dice vaults and stuff like that.
I'm trying to see how you're going to tie this to poor people, but go on.
They have a social media presence as well. And one time they hired a new company to like do their Google ads and stuff for them, right? Which we're too poor to do. But they had like this shared document where they were like, just spit out, fun ideas for taglines for our new ads. And they were just like, they started joking back and forth to each other. And one of them was Wormwood Gaming, dice for not poor people.
That went over well.
And this new company that they had hired was so efficient, in fact, that they just auto-published that. So people got a little upset.
A little bit, maybe.
And they're like, what the fuck? But yeah, I thought that was funny.
I feel like they have a strong enough following where it's just going to blow
over.
It's not going to be a big deal.
I think real fans would not take them too seriously, especially if they watch the show. And
I haven't gotten my shit yet. I still haven't gotten like the stuff I funded.
Yeah, but that's because you didn't follow the instructions.
That's fair. But still. They still took my money.
Yeah. Have you reached out to them?
I did. I'm just like, I guess, waiting to get it.
Yeah. Well, that's good. They've already done Dice 2.0 now, so I've already pledged for that. A bit of a Kickstarter problem. Actually, I don't know if it was actually Kickstarter, but I think former guest an author, Madeline Rue, is doing something for D&D now.
Oh, nice! I didn't know that.
Yeah, I saw it on her Instagram. So
Ooh, we're gonna have to try to get her back on.
yeah, might have to talk to her. She'd be a good one to talk about badass ladies in the nerd world because she's a badass.
Yeah,
lady.
she just like power clean. I'm not too sure the term.
I don't know, weightlifting stuff.
She just did, I think, 255.
Yeah, she does. It's very impressive.
Yeah.
I don't think I could do any of those.
She'll definitely beat the shit out of us.
I might be able to outlift her, but I would be crippled for a week and a half. I'd be like, "Ooh, I pulled something. I pulled my hammy."
I know I can't. I'm not even gonna try.
All right. Well, let's. We've rambled enough, long enough. Let's do some nerdy confessions where we confess the things that make us nerds. Why don't you kick it off?
I watched. What was it called? The Tomorrow War, the new Chris Pratt movie.
I watched it too.
I mean, I did not.
For an Amazon movie, I think it was fine.
Well, that's like I really liked the design of the creatures.
Yes,
they were really cool.
They looked awesome.
They looked amazing. It was some original stuff. Chris Pratt, it's hard not to like the guy. Yeah. It was just like a lot of the environment you could tell was a studio, and it just kind of pulled me out of the movie. Like a lot in the ice stuff, a lot in the future stuff, and like it also like since we did time traveling, they didn't do a really good job of explaining early on. Okay, why are you pulling people from the past to fight in the present? Why don't you just tell them what's going to happen, what has happened already, and just prepare from this point forward 30 years. We got 30 years to prepare.
Right.
For this upcoming war.
Yeah.
Fucking shelter in place or do something like that kind of stuff was like
shelter in place is the worst.
I don't know, man. Like
just stay home and hopefully the aliens won't come.
Just something, everyone like get more guns or some shit. But instead of like, and then later on they explained it, and I remember just kind of being half-assed, like, oh, I guess that kind of makes sense. But there was just some stuff that I couldn't get over. But I would still say watch it, but I guess I was expecting more.
Well, I mean, I think first of all, again, it's an Amazon movie, so it's not like, I mean, I'm sure it still had a huge budget, but it's not like, the next Marvel movie or Warner Brothers movie or Legendary Pictures or whatever. So that kind of, to me, explains. I thought the CG looked great for what it was.
For the creatures.
For the creatures looked good. The sci-fi, like the time travel effect, all looked sick.
Also, I need to call one big bullshit in this movie.
Okay.
Hard pill to swallow, even for a fantasy movie. Chris Pratt and his American friends were watching football. Well, I guess
soccer,
known the rest of the world football. Bullshit.
Yeah, there's no way that many people were excited by soccer.
Yeah, come on now. Like, come on.
Oh, let's get together on Christmas and watch soccer.
Yeah.
Ugh, gross.
I was like, I can't buy that for a minute.
Get out of here. Yeah, that's more unbelievable than the aliens.
Yeah, no, this is the fucking Americans don't watch soccer.
Yeah. Yeah, I think overall, it was an entertaining movie. The action was really cool. Chris Pratt was great. J.K. Simmons was awesome. His friend, I forget his name, but he's always funny and stuff too. The other scientist guy who like barely made it out at the end, he was great. And then what's her face who plays the general in the future from Handmaid's Tale? She's awesome. I love her. Sorry, I don't know anyone's names.
And I feel like they kind of wasted the Viltrumite guy. I can't think of his name right now. J. Jonah Jameson.
J.K. Simmons.
J.K. Simmons. Like, he got ripped for the part. Like, you could tell he was, like, he got
Well,
buff.
he wasn't ripped for that. He got ripped like that to play, like, James Gordon for some reason, back when he was going to have a bigger part in, like, the Zack Snyder verse.
Oh, I thought he did it for this movie, because he looks jacked, and I was like, and he was, like, barely in it.
No, there was like, a bunch of videos posted of him, like, just fucking getting swole AF. But it was to play Commissioner Gordon for some reason.
Because we've all known him as a fucking huge buff guy.
Well, apparently in the Zack Snyderverse, there was going to be a Batman, like Ben Affleck's Batman movie was going to be like, have him and Commissioner Gordon and doing some stunts and such, so. But yeah, he obviously has maintained because he is a fucking ripped AF State Farm guy or Farmers guy or whatever. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was, it was decent. Like, what's crazy about it is, like, this big action climax thing happens, and then I looked at the time. There's still 45 minutes left in the movie.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, fuck, there's more.
Yeah, that was the same with me. I was like, oh, this kind of feels like the end of the movie. Oh, it really isn't. There's still a whole lot left.
Yeah, exactly. So I like that when that happens, when it's like, you're like, well, I want more resolution. And it's like, oh, there's going to be more resolution. We just have to watch the rest of this movie. But I thought it was cool. Obviously budget constraints, but the acting was all great. The concept was interesting. How, we talked about time travel in that last episode, or 2 episodes ago, I guess it was. Doesn't matter. And they have an interesting one where there's like these 2. I think they said that like there's 2 rafts on a river, and they're just constantly floating down. So you can jump in between those rafts, but you can't go any further or any further back, kind of thing.
Also, the soft science of the time travel is like, oh, this one tower, as long as it stands, we can go back. How does it work?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, who built it? Why are you focusing on the goddamn tower?
Yeah, we got freaking aliens here. We need to fucking take care of business. But it was an interesting take. And sometimes when time travel is like, it's not like the main focus of it, of traveling to and from time. It's just a vehicle for the plot to move forward. Like, I can forgive a little bit of that. I watched another streaming exclusive movie for my nerdy confession called The Ice Road. Have you watched that one?
No, the title sounds familiar.
It's with fucking Liam Neeson's.
Didn't he get canceled?
Liam Neeson's or the movie?
No, Liam Neeson. Dude, he was talking about like...
I don't know.
He was talking about how he was looking like in the 80s, one of his friends, a girl he knew, like was raped. So he said like he was going out looking for a black guy to kill.
Oh, nice. Well, maybe it was a black guy who raped her.
Doesn't mean he could kill any fucking random like black person. He wanted to get into a fight with a black person just to kill them.
Well, I mean, Liam Neeson has a certain set of skills, Christian. Yeah.
I'm actually surprised he has not been canceled.
Well, it's because he's got the biggest dick in Hollywood.
That's probably helps, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Ice Road is a movie about ice road truckers, as the title would suggest. And basically, there's like a cave-in in a mining place, I guess it would be, in the Arctic North somewhere. And there's a cave-in. They need some heavy piece of equipment there to help get these cavers, miners out.
Which is
his fucking dick.
He's just gonna dick slap until it breaks.
Yeah, he's gonna drill the fucking ice with his dick. Anyway, they have to get it up there before the miners run out of oxygen, and the only way to do it is to use the old ice roads that real truckers actually drive on during the most frozen times of year. And but this is like late in the season, so all the roads are closed because the ice is too thin, obviously, for drama and shit to happen. And Liam Neeson and 2 other truckers, including one Lawrence Fishburne from The Matrix,
oh nice,
are tasked with going up there, but all sorts of shit happens on the way up there. I don't think it's a good movie.
Okay.
I mean, it was somewhat entertaining, the concept, right? It was like, there's truckers, on ice. Obviously, some people fall on the ice and die and freeze and whatnot. There's all sorts of interesting stuff as long as it's real and based off fact, where if you drive too fast, it'll cause like pressure ripples in the ice. Like it'll, because ice obviously it's not super rigid. It's still flexible because it's sitting on the ocean. And basically you can make these ripples, and then that'll cause like breaks in the ice and your truck explodes or whatever and falls in the ice. So as long as that's true, that's pretty interesting.
Was there ever a point where there was like penguins that got in the way that became like an obstacle, or a fucking polar bear attacking someone?
No, there was no animals whatsoever in this whole movie.
What a waste.
But basically, I mean, I'll spoil it because it's a dumb Netflix movie. But basically, the higher ups at the mining company hired like a hitman guy to infiltrate the ice truckers to stop them from reaching their goal, so that the miners would die, so they wouldn't find out that they had been like shutting off the methane filters and methane detectors to save money. or something stupid like that.
That's probably the most realistic part of that movie.
And they hired like freaking guys on snowmobiles to like jump on the trucks and stuff. But one thing that's really funny about this movie, which I think you should watch it just to see what I mean.
You said it was a bad movie, so now I have to watch it.
Yeah, sure. Oh yeah, it should be right up your alley then. I will say it's not. I don't think it's one of these like purposely bad movies. You know, I think the concept is interesting and the acting was fine in it for the most part. But the CG in it is so bad. And you know what's funny is we've seen crazy things happen to like big rigs, right? We have the Transformer movies with Optimus Prime, you know, morphing all over the place. We've had different things where the big rig gets hit and flips up in the air. This one looks like, you know, like a high school VFX student.
That bad?
Yeah. Like you just got to watch it. Like things just tip over and they have like no physics to them. And I'm just like, wow, this is really bad. But okay. I think it could be a budget constraint thing. And, you know, I mean, it doesn't really affect the story as much. You still know what's going on. But yeah, it looked pretty dumb.
It would have been awesome if there were just like little miniature, like, you know, like little cars where they called it like the Hot Wheels,
Matchbox. Yeah. I mean, honestly, that might have been better because I mean, at least those things have the appropriate weight to them and stuff. But yeah, it was interesting. You know, there's some crazy stuff that happens on their way to this thing, and you know, the guys who actually drive on the ice road, those guys are fucking insane because there's no way that job pays enough money to risk your life like that.
I wonder how much they would have to offer those hitmen to go out there. I mean, if I was a hitman, they're like, hey, man, we're going to offer you this money. I'm like, cool, where's the mark? In the snow, like below freezing.
Yeah.
Like, no thanks, I'm good.
But we have the snowmobile for you.
Oh, cool. And they have 18-wheelers?
Oh,
yeah, no, I'm good.
Matching jackets. Oh, matching jackets, you say?
Fuck that shit.
Yeah, definitely. Pretty rough stuff. All right. Well, we're going to take a quick little break, and then when we come back, we are going to talk about some kick-ass ladies, bad bitches. We'll be right back. And we're back. All right, Christian. I'm excited for Black Widow. I've already got my tickets. I know you're getting your tickets soon. We have been without ScarJo for too long. And I think one of the things... Oh, I just realized that I didn't have the camera on you for a lot. Ah. Good thing I got these 6 sunglasses to keep people entertained. Yeah, we are going to be talking about some of the awesome ladies in the nerd world. Because I think too often, you know, we focus on like the hottest ladies or like, you know, we over-sexualize them. And I think that doesn't give them a fair showing in the nerd world where there's actually some really badass ladies who do kick-ass stuff and their whole deal is not to fall in love with some dude, right? They pass the what's that test called?
Oh, I know the test you're talking.
Bechdel test.
Yeah, which I don't think there's anyone that passes it, right? Or very, very, very few.
Yeah, there's very few. I don't remember all the criteria because I know some of these ladies will not pass, but I think a lot of them, you know, have a pretty good showing. So, we've collected some of these from our favorite movies, comics. I don't think I have any video games.
I don't have video games or comics. I did strictly movies.
Strictly movies.
Well, and shows. Well.
Okay. Well, that's fine. I have some to cover you. And, you know, we'd love to hear some of your favorite ones as well. Just drop them down in the comments. Shoot us an Instagram message or we normally put a little story up on our Instagram too where you can respond to that as well. Why don't you kick us off, Christian?
Do I want to piss you off first, or do I want to? Okay, I'll go with one I just added.
You love doing that, so.
All right, fuck it. We'll start that way. I just had her, Lynn Peltzer from The Gremlins, which is Frances Lee McCain. Dude, she alone almost took out the whole Gremlin issue. She murdered all in the kitchen.
I feel like anyone could have taken those gremlins out.
Nah, man, they fucking wrecked the town.
Drop kicked them.
Nah, dude, they'll fuck you up.
Okay.
They get you by numbers. She fucking murdered one with a knife, microwaved another one, and then like it was just one that got her in the tree, and their son had to come help her. But she was fucking badass. She almost took care of the whole problem for the whole town. She almost did it by herself. I don't think she gets enough credit.
Yeah, I mean, I think that from what I remember of the movie, I do remember the scene with the microwave and everything. Yeah, she's awesome, and I think a lot of times we get, someone like what's her face from Temple of Doom, who is is there to be in peril and constantly be saved. And it's nice to see when they write a character who stands up for themselves.
Yeah, no, this mama bear was like, no, there's
takes
fucking
care of shit.
Creatures in my house. They're in my fucking kitchen.
Yeah.
The fuck out of my kitchen.
I'm gonna fuck these creatures.
Fuck them up. She didn't run away.
Yeah, exactly. I love that. Speaking of another lady who doesn't run away from anything, Ripley from Alien.
Now I have to X that from my list.
Yeah, you can't have a list like this and not have Sigourney Weaver as Ripley. And specifically, like, the first Alien was so good.
Oh, yeah.
The second one, obviously, great as well. Obviously, took it in a little different direction. But the first one, Ridley Scott doing the, like, sci-fi horror genre. What's crazy about that movie, because I think it came out in 79 or 80. It was really early.
Yes.
And, at the time, like, obviously, Star Wars was gigantic, right? And, Star Trek was, had already been an established thing. We always had these like really polished sci-fi things, but then like Alien took it to a different place. And at the time, like Tom Skerritt, who was I forget what his name in the movie is, Ash or something like that, Commander.
Is that?
He's the guy who gets
Chestbuster.
No.
Or the guy with the headband.
I think he's the guy with the headband.
Okay.
Yeah, with the mustache. He was Viper in Top Gun. Anyway, he was like super big at the time, and like, he's like the cool guy with the fucking
okay, I see.
With the fucking headband and stuff. Like, I think he did have the headband, right?
Yep.
He was like the captain of the ship. Everyone's like, oh, this guy's gonna be the hero. No, it's actually freaking Ripley, the quiet, I forget what her job on the actual ship was. But she was almost a side character up until shit started to go down. Look at that. He looks like fucking Han Solo there. Tom Scared with this headset and stuff.
I'm wondering if Ripley would be considered a final girl, because she is the last one, and it is a sci-fi. I guess she would, because it is a sci-fi horror movie.
Please explain what a final girl
in horror movies, there's always the final girl. It's the one that survives. So like Friday the 13th.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis, yeah. So it's always the last girl that either survives or defeats the villain.
Interesting.
So I guess you would be, because it is a horror movie.
I guess
I tried to avoid final girls on my list, which was really hard because I was going to just focus on that.
Well, I mean, most of the people everyone else in that movie gets killed except for her. So, I mean,
dead. And
she does defeat the alien, so to speak. But then we see in Aliens that there are more out there. But yeah, she's awesome. I mean, and one thing that's cool is like, and there's big controversy about one of the final scenes in that movie, the panties scene.
What's the controversy? She looked great in them. Yeah,
well, exactly. Well, the controversy is that like, okay, you've made this strong female character who's gone through and like, she's not pining over some man. She's not like, she doesn't need to be saved constantly. She's like self-sufficient. And they made it through almost the entire movie without like sexualizing her. And then it's like, oh, actually the movie's almost ending. She's got to get in her spacesuit or whatever. She better be naked with no bra on.
She's about to go into hibernation. You want to get in there comfy.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want fucking road rash when they're coming out of there. Should have been naked. I mean, just kept the tank top on. Jesus.
So I just wanted to add, since you brought up Ripley. So Call from also the same universe. This was in I can't find my
Prometheus.
No. In
What's her face?
Aliens Resurrection. Winona Ryder.
Oh, yeah.
The only reason why I bring her up is because she's a badass as an actor, because she is terrified of water and drowning.
And that was like her whole deal in that.
She had like an accident when she was young and she like almost died. So she had like a big deal. And then there's that scene in the movie where they're underwater
with the alien swimming.
With the alien swimming. they had an accident where she was struggling and they had to come save her. And she didn't want to do the fucking scene, but the G she is, she's like, you know what? It's in the movie. I signed up to the movie and she fucking did it. So she's a badass for doing that shit.
Yeah, she was an android in that movie, wasn't she?
Yeah, but she was an android who was like had feelings. So she was like almost human.
Great. Why do we have to put those in androids?
That was the whole benefit of having them.
Of course, a woman android has too many feelings. Oh, good. Why don't you give another one?
But I love that movie. A lot of people hate on that movie. I love Alien Resurrection. Ron Perlman was a fucking G in it.
Yeah, honestly, I liked all of the Aliens. Except for Alien versus Predator. I thought those were fucking trash movies.
And those I had so high hopes because...
Right. Well, the first one was PG-13. I'm like, oh, you take two of the most violent franchises, put them together, and somehow get a less violent movie? That was stupid. And then they made Requiem, which was... The reason why they called it Requiem was because it was big R, so it was rated R.
Yeah, and that was also...
And it was still terrible.
It was terrible because it was all shot like it's super dark. You couldn't see anything.
Right.
Okay, so my official one, I'll just pick a classic. Sarah Connor, Terminator.
Oh, yeah.
And particularly in part 2, but she was still a G in the first one.
I think part 2 like brought her to a new level though. Because she was like fucking doing the fucking pull-ups and push-ups.
No, and it was like,
the mental asylum.
And in the first
she had the cool glasses, much like myself.
Exactly.
Though hers had the cool little like side fins, so I don't know, dust doesn't get in there.
Yeah, like in the first one, she was a victim, and in the second one, she's like, "Fuck that! I'm sick of being the victim. I'm gonna be fucking tough. I need to be tough for my kid.
Right.
In case another one of these motherfuckers comes back, like I need to be ready." And she's just like, she just fucking turned into this amazing badass. It was dope.
Yeah, who fought gigantic robots. And if you see a picture of, I forget what the actress's name is, even though she was in the new Terminator.
Linda Hamilton.
Linda Hamilton, that's right. If you see a picture of her next to Arnold Schwarzenegger in real life, she is tiny compared to that guy.
And she was like, fuck that.
Yeah, and she's like, fuck that. I'm just going to get yoked AF. Back in the time when it was weird for chicks to get yoked AF, right? Back in the 80s. My next one, I mean, when you think about badass ladies in comic books or TV shows, Michonne from The Walking Dead.
Oh, yeah.
Has to be the top of many people's lists. With her fucking samurai sword. Get out of here to 800 call. No one wants you. With her fucking samurai sword. And like, I almost forgot about this until I started like really thinking about this list. With the walkers that she like led around,
the two zombies
with the chains,
she took off their bottom jaw.
Yeah, ripped off their jaw so they couldn't bite her. Dude, fuck! I remember reading that in the comic book and then seeing it in a show. I'm like, Jesus Christ, what a crazy idea! I never would have thought of that.
Yeah,
and the actress who now has entered the Marvel universe as one of the what are they called?
It's like a French.
The bodyguards for the Black Panther.
Yeah.
The bald ladies with the spears.
I feel the name coming, but I'm not gonna fuck it up.
Yeah, I can't recall. But she's awesome in that too. But I feel like seeing her as Michonne in The Walking Dead, not only the show but the comic book. I mean, it was just amazing. I couldn't help it. Why don't you give us your next one there, Christian?
So I have a whole set of ladies, but they're all from Kill Bill. But in particular,
ooh yeah,
Beatrix Kiddo, Uma Thurman,
of course.
Ellie Driver, which was Daryl Hannah.
Denai Gira is her name. Denai Gira, that's her name, for Michonne's actress name.
Oren Ishii, Lucy Liu, Gogo Yubari, Chiaki Kuriyama, which was the girl with the ball and chain.
There was what, Black Mamba, Diamondback, or they were all snake names, right?
Yeah, and I didn't get Vivica A. Fox's character's name, but
I
think
she was sick too. Oh, that was one of my favorite fights with the little girl and stuff.
Yeah,
and he's like, "Mama's just talking to one of her friends."
No, yeah, but all the fights.
What happened to Vivica A. Fox? She was awesome.
I mean, she was great, and then I don't know. Who knows?
I think Kill Bill's the last thing I remember her in, but goddamn.
Didn't she do some reality show recently? I think she was like in
probably.
But yeah, the fight scenes were amazing. Uma Thurman did a great job. The only fight scene that was a little bit of disappointment was Lucy Liu's because it was so brief.
It looked really good though.
It looked great. It was a great classic like samurai showdown battle. But like right before that, was the Crazy 88 where she like murdered all these guys.
Right, exactly.
And that's the whole reason why it turned black and white, right? Because so much blood would have made it like, I think, it would have got like an NC-17 or something like that, where it was higher than R-rated.
Yeah, I don't know if it had to do with the rating, but I think stylistically it looked cool because then, eventually you had the one splash of blood and it was like, oh shit, this is awesome, and it was like, oh, very like, samurai film-esque, Kurosawa-esque. Vivica A. Fox, yeah. I mean, she's in a bunch of stuff. I just don't know any.
They look like shows.
Yeah. Television, also producer. Interesting. Oh, she was in the last Sharknado. That's kind of cool. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think, aside from Quentin Tarantino's obvious creep factor with the ladies, I think that all of those characters were very strong. Characters.
I was about to make a bold statement, said there was no feet, but that's not true. When she was hospitalized, there was a
wiggle your big toe.
Yeah,
I mean, it was straight up like a long shot on her fucking feet.
Yep. Never mind.
With Buck, who likes to fuck.
Yeah.
My name's Buck, and I came here to fuck. In the pussy wagon. That was cool. That's actually Quentin Tarantino's car.
Yeah.
Recently, on an interview with Joe Rogan, Quentin Tarantino said that he has a lot of the cars from his movies and stuff. Like, he gets the best version. Like, he has the best one from Death Proof, the Charger or Challenger or whatever it was.
Nice.
Though he oddly left out the pussy wagon.
Which
he definitely has.
He for sure has.
If he has any of them, he has that one.
If anything, that was his car. Someone saw it and like, that might be good for
the
movie.
That should be the movie. There's this creeper dude in the movie that I think it would be perfect.
And Quinn's like, yeah, I'll go ask if I can borrow it.
Yeah, it's my neighbor's, but he's cool, so he'll probably do it.
He also has gotten, and I'm wondering, like, I know he got heat when Once Upon a Time in Hollywood came out, but he's getting again heat because of the Joe Rogan podcast for his portrayal of Bruce Lee. And I just rewatched it again.
He literally told all the haters, he said they can all pound sand.
Oh, I thought he told them that they can all suck his dick.
Yeah, he said that too, probably. Yeah. He does not give two shits about it.
He did say, he's like, I do understand why his daughter's upset. That's her dad. But like, as I rewatched the movie and like the only reason why Brad Pitt's character won was that he cheated in that fight, which is what Quentin says in the podcast.
Right.
But as I rewatched, it's like, he did. He got him it was a cheat move.
Yeah.
But like, he's defending like his arrogantness. And I was like, I mean, did they show Bruce Lee in a great light? No. But was it like super bad? I mean, I don't think it was that terrible, like to the point where they get mad at him.
I mean, if it's your dad, like, I could see you getting upset about it, but I don't see, again, it has to do with everyone coming, being upset on her behalf too, which just is so stupid. But I thought it was cool. I thought it was an awesome, definitely an awesome scene, and it gives weight to how badass Brad Pitt is, which that's why you do something like that in a movie anyway, right?
What's the Star Trek thing? What is it? The Worf effect?
The Worf effect, yeah. So basically, in Star Trek: The Next Generation, Worf is this awesome Klingon warrior guy who's like, Klingons are, they're basically, entire culture is around battling to the death. Like, they're kind of like space Vikings essentially, and the problem is to make some sort of bad guy in Star Trek seem like badass, they have to beat up Worf, who is the strongest badass guy there. So it's okay if it happens once or twice, but after 10 seasons or whatever they had of that show, it was like, oh, Worf's going to get beat up by this guy, and he just gets thrown across. They're like, oh shit, they got him. And then, of course, they have to outthink the bad guy. So yeah, it's 100% like that. Bruce Lee, if a guy fights Bruce Lee, and even if he holds his own or doesn't completely get beat up, it shows you how awesome that guy is. So, narratively, it works. But yeah, those guys can pound sand. That's in the words of, what's his name? Quentin Tarantino. Here's one that I think you might agree with now that you've read it. Vin from Mistborn.
Yes.
Brandon Sanderson fantasy series. I mean, she is one of my favorite fantasy characters of all time. She's super powerful, but she's not a dick about it. And but also she's very independent. Like, part of her character arc is she has to learn to accept and be accepted by others, because she grew up kind of like on the streets, and she had to like look out for herself, and she couldn't trust anyone, and she gradually learns to trust.
Oh yeah, I mean, her brother's one less is trust no one, and then he fucking leaves her alone in debt.
Yeah, exactly.
In debt to someone, so she's basically a slave, and he's like, I told you not to trust anyone.
Yeah, I told you not to trust anybody. Bah! Yeah, but she becomes like one of the most powerful characters in the book. That book, of course, having like a magic system based on metal, whereas you can inject like steel and iron and stuff like that and form powder, and gives you magical powers to like control metal, pull and push on people's emotions, get super strong, super fast, that sort of stuff. So she is awesome. And you know what's kind of cool about her portrayal in that is, yes, she does eventually fall in love with a guy, but he's almost like he plays the girl in like classical terms. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like she wears the pants in that relationship. Where, you know, oftentimes in like, again, I'm going to reach to Temple of Doom again, where, you know, the girl just needs to be saved all the time, and she's just there to get into trouble and have the hero come in and save her. That's how Ellen, who is her boyfriend and husband, I think they get married.
They got married,
right?
yep.
Yeah. In the show, that's his role
in the book.
In the book. That's right, in the book. Hopefully, the show soon. I would love to see that. So she's always like swooping in to save him, and so it's kind of a cool reversal of roles in that. And I think Brandon Sanderson did a really good job.
And he was never a douche about it. Her husband.
No, he was like, yeah, that's another thing is he was married to a very powerful lady who was more powerful than him, and he was never like intimidated by it. He was never like, you know, frustrated by her or anything. He's just like, dude, this fucking chick rocks, and I'm all about it. I loved it. What's another one for you?
All right, I will go with Xena, Warrior Princess.
Oh shit, yeah.
Lucy Lawless.
And what was her sidekick's name?
Oh, I don't remember.
Was it Gabriella or something?
I don't know, but
there was some fan fiction written about it, I'm sure.
She definitely gave me a fear boner. I was like, wow, she's really scary, but she's also like kind of hot. Like,
Gabrielle, yeah.
Yeah, I used to watch the show. It was great, and it was kind of awesome because she started off as a villain in Hercules, and then she got her own spin-off.
Look at them, they fucked for sure.
Oh no, they were a couple, dude.
Yeah.
It was just never like official, but the show writer said that they were a couple.
Look at them. Oh my god, that show was so sick. Yeah, the Hercules with Kevin Sorbo.
Yeah,
dude, that was fucking awesome. What a prime time in fucking TV history. You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, like that's another. She was also fucking.
Yeah, she didn't take no guff from no one.
She had that cool ass fucking like circular
ring
that she would throw,
and she'd go like yee, and she'd throw it. That was fucking sick. Yeah, I mean, what's crazy? Like, is Xena based off of anything? Was there like I don't know.
I'm not gonna fucking assume it was or wasn't. I think her character was super popular in Hercules that they were just like, we gotta give her a show.
Yeah, I mean, it just seemed like it kind of came out of nowhere, you know. Here's a good one. In the movie Edge of Tomorrow or Live, Die, Repeat.
I almost put it down.
Yeah, is it Emily Blunt?
Yes.
Is that her name? John Krasinski's wife.
Correct. She's more than that, Cody. We're doing a list about strong women,
yeah.
And you're just saying, "Oh yeah, this is the one that's married to this dude."
Yeah. The third wheel to John Krasinski's career. Yeah, Emily Blunt. Because I get her and someone else mixed up all the time.
Yeah, white people all look the same.
I don't remember the other lady's name. It's another actress who looks somewhat similar, but not really close. But her in Edge of Tomorrow, Live, Die, Repeat, playing opposite Tom Cruise. Now, when you have a Tom Cruise movie, you know, Tom Cruise is obviously there for like that star power. Like, you know, he's freaking Risky Business. He's Maverick. He's Days of Thunder. You know, he's what puts the asses in the seats. But I think in that movie in particular, like she was by far the highlight. I think she kind of upstaged Tom Cruise.
Yeah, she's the one who had to teach this idiot guy who kept dying, like, hey, so let me train you on how to not be so fucking useless.
And she had a badass, like, giant robot sword, I think.
Yeah.
There's a little thing ringing in the background.
Producer Rick's?
Yeah, Producer Rick's fucking didn't silence his phone. Yeah, you know, she has this giant badass, like, robot sword that she carries around and hacks up aliens with, where all the other ones have, like, you know, machine guns and stuff like that. It was, I don't know, it was so sick. And there's a scene of her like doing, was it one-handed push-ups or two-handed push-ups?
I think when
she was just fucking owning.
I think it's the first time Tom Cruise sees her, and he's just like, "Holy shit!
Holy shit! I want to fuck that." Yeah, but she was cool. And what's cool too is like if you haven't seen that movie, the whole deal is, you know, Tom Cruise is kind of in this Groundhog's Day kind of thing where he keeps reliving the same day, so he's able to get better eventually. She just got better by being a fucking badass. You know? Like, she just kept surviving. She didn't get all the do-overs that he had, so pretty cool.
He had infinite lives. She just had the one.
Yeah, she had one. She was on hardcore mode. All right, what's another one for you?
Valkyrie, Tessa Thompson.
Ooh, Tessa Thompson.
Thor Ragnarok, but I'm also going to add Kate Blanchett, even though she was the villain.
Oh, fuck, I love Kate Blanchett.
Oh, in particular, she was so hot.
I love her so much.
When she played Hela. But Valkyrie was awesome. She didn't take no shit from nobody. She had a little bit of a drinking problem, but that's okay.
That's okay. Those are the best ladies. Just a little bit, just a hint of a drinking problem. That's my wheelhouse, Christian.
There you go. But like, she was such a badass that even Hulk, battling, in the arena, had respect for her.
Yeah, exactly.
She's just like, oh, angry girl, like, hey, fist bump, like.
Yeah, exactly. To be recognized by like arguably one of the most strongest, fiercest warriors in the Marvel universe is pretty awesome. And she definitely threw Thor for a loop too. She's a good one, and I hope to see more of her as the movies kind of go on.
Well, she's now the ruler of
Asgard. Queen of Asgard now. So I think that'll be cool. I really liked her. Yeah. I have another comic book one, Hit Girl from Kick-Ass.
Damn it, you took one of mine.
Dude.
I just put her actual character name, which is
Hit Girl.
Mindy McReady.
Why?
That was her.
I know that's her name in the comic, but much less recognizable than Hit Girl. But I think the actress's name is Chloe Moretz, Chloe Grace Moretz or something like that. For being as young as she was, I don't know how old she was when that movie was first shot. But she had to be like, I don't know, 14, 15 or something like that.
Late, as I was going to say like 12, 13, but
maybe. Who knows? But like just being a fucking badass little girl in that and just like destroying these, henchmen and stuff like that. It was so awesome. And I think that people have kind of forgotten about that movie because the follow-up was fine. It wasn't,
it wasn't as entertaining as the first one.
It wasn't as entertaining as the first one, but I mean, there's still such good stuff in that, in both of those movies combined. Like, I don't know. I feel like the R-rated superhero movie really got its start there, where we wouldn't have a Deadpool without Kick-Ass, and Hit Girl is the thing that stands out the most. Like, I think Kick-Ass himself was the least memorable character.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, it was definitely her and Nicolas Cage were the most
Big Daddy or whatever his name was. Yeah,
but
definitely
like
Batman.
Every scene that she was in, she just stole it. Like, it was
100%.
Like, that's all you were focusing
with her nunchucks and her like freaking butterfly knives.
Oh yeah,
but
like she's playing with the butterfly knife, like when she's talking to her dad while he's making comic books to try to get her to understand why they're doing what they're doing.
100%.
Oh, and then when he shoots her, what was it, like
with a bulletproof vest or whatever?
Yeah, I think it was like a Magnum pistol. Like, it was some high caliber fucking gun. He just shoots her.
Yeah. That was so funny. Yeah, Nicolas Cage underrated in that movie too. He was great. All right, what's another one? Maybe one or two more from you.
All right. Ooh, it's gonna be tough. Okay. Since we did little girls, I'll do another one. Laura, or X-23 from Logan.
Oh, I almost put her on there for sure.
Every scene where, like, when she was fighting, I was like, I think that little girl can beat my ass. Like, that little girl's fucking insane. Like, she really took on that Wolverine like madness, like when he goes berserk mode, and like she was just straight up all berserk mode. Yeah, and she was a great actress too. Like, I totally believed like all of it. I was like, dude, this kid is fucking terrifying.
Yeah, I think she was really good, especially again for being such a young actress, much like Hit Girl. That I think she really sold the role, and I've seen her in other stuff since then, and she is a very talented actress. But X-23, I think just as a character alone, is pretty awesome, being a clone of Wolverine, and now in the Marvel comics, I believe she has actually taken the mantle of Wolverine as well, because Logan, I think, died at one point, but he's probably back by now.
Of all those X-Men movies, that to me is the best one.
Yeah, I think that one is by far the best, though. I will say X2 was very good. And X-Men First Class was also very good.
Well, to me, why it's the best one is that it made me feel the most emotions.
Right.
Like seeing.
Yeah, I don't normally like to feel things, especially when I'm watching like a superhero movie. But man, I felt a lot of things on that.
Like
one.
seeing old Professor X. Like I was getting like sad. I'm like, dude, tell me Patrick Stewart is not that fucking old. Like we need him for more fucking movies. And I had to look him up. I was like, oh god, okay, he looks healthy.
Yeah.
Same with Hugh Jackman. I was like, dude, is he really that old now? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, nah, we need more movies with Hugh Jackman in it.
Yeah, luckily I think they played up some of that, which is nice. But goddamn, that movie was so good.
Also, there's rumors now that maybe Hugh Jackman might come back as Wolverine. They just they showed pictures of him with Kevin Feige, like they were like kind of like arms around each other and just like. Well,
it's hard to say no to $1 billion.
Yeah.
Hey Hugh, you want to come back and do one movie and we'll pay you $500 million? Yes, please. The Greatest Showman didn't do as well as I thought it was going to.
I didn't even watch it.
Yeah, I heard it was good though. Michael Frankel really enjoyed it. Good soundtrack to it. But
it's interesting how Hugh Jackman every now and then can do like a real.
He loves musical theater.
Yeah, but like he'll do like some bad movies. Like didn't he do like a Peter Pan one that like tanked? Where he played the villain, yeah.
He played Captain Hook, I think.
Yeah.
Or something.
Or whoever the pre-Captain Hook was or something.
Yeah, I did not watch that, but I do remember that. You know what was really good with him, though, was fucking Prestige.
Battle Robots? Or whatever.
Or Real Steel?
Real Steel.
Real Steel. All right, another one for me. I'll go back to comic books as well, since you did Wolverine or X-23, is Storm from the X-Men. Now, not necessarily the movies. I think Halle Berry did a fine job in those movies. But I think Storm as a character in the actual, legit Marvel comics, X-Men comics, is one of the best X-Men. First of all, she's one of the most powerful ones.
She's like a Class 5 mutant.
Yeah, she's Class 5. And she eventually goes on to become not only the Queen of Wakanda, but the new Black Panther as well.
Oh, I didn't know the Black Panther part.
Yeah, she... I think in the comics, something happens to T'Challa, and she's married to him, and she takes over the role of Black Panther. So she's like Black Panther, but with fucking weather powers. I mean, she's awesome. And, she's always been one of these, like, it wasn't like the Jean Grey, who's always, like, fawning over, what's his name, Cyclops. And she's always been kind of an independent. Oh, look, I just have pictures of Xena up still. This is the best. But yeah, Storm has always been this really awesome, powerful character. And she's never been really the damsel in distress necessarily. She's always out there saving everyone with a fucking tornado blast or whatever the fuck. But yeah, she's one of my favorites. All right, last one, Christian. Give me one solid good one.
Okay, if it's the last one. I'm going to throw two, just because one, I have to do it.
There are no rules.
Well, Red Sonja, just because, obviously for Satine Phoenix, we got to throw it in there. But the official one I was going to say was River and Zoe from Serenity.
Yep.
Both fucking badasses in their own type of ways.
Yep. And Firefly.
Yeah, and Firefly. Yeah, I'd put Serenity, but yeah, for Firefly. Although, did River do much fighting in Firefly? I know she did a lot of it in Serenity.
No, she did a lot in Serenity. I'll have to rewatch it again, but I think in Firefly, every once in a while there's little glimpses of it, but Serenity, obviously, it was like the tie-up movie to finish everything off, so they really went into overdrive for sure.
Also with Zoe, like when her husband, when he gets killed right as they crash in the ship, and then I don't remember Nathan Fillion's character was like, "Hey,
Malcolm."
Yeah, he's like, "I need you here right now." And she just like the soldier's like, "Okay, like I'll, like let's go, let's fucking do this."
She was always a badass, and she is also the voice of what's her face in Destiny. Why can't I think of her name? Not Zavala, not Kate Six. It's
gonna come to you after the show.
Yep, it's definitely gonna come to me after the show. That's for sure. But yeah, so she's awesome, and she's always like, she's the badass one that ends up getting Malcolm Mal out of, maybe it was Mal. It's probably short for Malcolm. I can't even think of it now. But she always was bailing the rest of the Serenity crew out of trouble.
Yeah.
And then obviously her husband, played by Alan Tudyk, he's
an underrated actor, man. He's fucking awesome.
He's amazing in everything he's ever in. But he plays like kind of this goofy, like wimpy pilot guy, and she's like the fucking badass who always has like a fucking shotgun, busting people out of trouble. So that's a fucking good call for sure. All right, my last one. I have two different ones. I was gonna say Princess Leia because I mean, fuck, it's Princess Leia.
Yeah,
right? You know,
I had her on my list, but I figured you were.
Carrie Fisher was amazing, and you know, she only really got sexualized in the third movie, but that was because Jabba was a gross, you know, slug guy.
Yeah, it was all Jabba's fault.
It was all Jabba's fault.
I mean, we enjoyed it.
Plus, she was all thin from doing all that cocaine, so she was all thin and hot. Just kidding, but seriously, she was. And I this one I put down, which I think is true, is just Charlize Theron in anything. She's just.
My first thought went to whatchamacallit.
What do you think?
We just talked about it.
Fast and Furious.
No, I was gonna say fucking Road Warrior. Fucking
Mad Max.
Mad Max.
She was great in Mad Max Fury Road, right? Just I forget what her name. Her name was like the. What was it like?
I guess technically in Monster she was still a tough lady.
It's not the first one I would have gone for, but yeah, she was a strong, independent woman in Monster.
She was killing dudes left and right.
No, but so yes, Mad Max Fury Road. Then there was Atomic Blonde, which I think people slept on that movie.
I did not watch it.
That movie was tight. You should definitely watch it. Awesome action movie. Obviously, the Fast and Furious franchise, she's been in at least 2 movies now, probably a third and fourth movie. She was also great in that, what was that Netflix movie where they're like the immortal people?
The Devil's Advocate.
The Devil's Advocate was very good. I mean,
but
that was very early on, and she wasn't super badass.
She was
but
not.
She was awesome. Fucking loved it. I'm
like racking my brains. I know I can think of one where she wasn't.
Yeah, there's definitely been movies where she hasn't been awesomely badass, but for the most part, I think like pound for pound, like movies wise, she's probably the only one I can think who's probably done more badass to non-badass ratio is Mila Jovovich.
Oh, yeah.
Because she was Lilu in Fifth Element. And then she
that would have been a good one. I freaking love that movie.
All of the Resident Evil movies. And then also
Monster
Hunter, and then Ultraviolet, which was a pile of crap, but she was still a badass in that movie. But yeah, Charlize Theron, I think, and then the Immortal movie that was the Netflix original, which it was her and like 7 Immortals or whatever. That was fucking awesome too.
What's the one she did with Will Smith where they were like superheroes?
Oh, yeah. Hancock, was it?
Hancock. That's right. Can't believe you fucking remember that name.
Yeah, I'm also a large Will Smith fan. Sorry. Yeah, I mean, she's just like, she's obviously comfortable doing her own stunts. Dude, she was in Children of the Corn 3, Urban Harvest. That's crazy.
I'm sure she was a badass in it.
Yeah, I'm sure she was a badass. Devil's Advocate, though, not bad. The Astronaut's Wife, that was kind of a cool one. Reindeer Games, I don't remember her part in that.
I love that this is...
Italian Job. That was a good one.
Remember that's right, with the Mini Coopers.
Yeah, with the Mini Coopers. Dude, that like started the Mini Cooper revolution, bro. Eon Flux, I forgot about that one.
That's what I was trying to remember the name. I knew the movie, I just couldn't remember the fucking name.
Hancock was good. The Road, that was a good movie. The post-apocalyptic one with Viggo Mortensen, remember?
That was actually on my list when we did the Apocalypse one, and we didn't get a chance to mention it, but that was a great movie.
Yeah, so good. Prometheus, she was Meredith Vickers.
Oh, yeah, she died.
She died, but she was she was more of just a bitch in that one, but she was also badass. The Huntsman, remember that one? She was Queen Ravina. Mad Max Fury Road, Imperator Furiosa. Furiosa was what I was trying to think of. She was also in Kubo and the Two Strings, which was an amazing one. Atomic Blonde. Fate of the Furious.
She was the monkey, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was the monkey. And yep, the Old Guard. That was the what's it called? The Netflix one, which they play like the Vikings warriors. You haven't seen that one?
Nope.
Dude, watch that one. Fuck yeah.
This is a good list to end on, or a good one where it's like, when was she not a badass?
Yeah, exactly. Mila Jovovich, like I said, is also in the running for like more badass to not badass, ratio.
I'm trying to think of another. I can't think of anything.
She was in some rom-com, and I was just like, oh, this is stupid. But like, I mean, just on like the Resident Evils and the Resident Evils, Monster Hunter, and the Fifth Element, it's like
She's had a really long run.
Like, she's had such a run of...
Oh, and Zoolander. She was also tough in Zoolander.
Oh, that's right. I forgot she was in Zoolander. Return to the Blue Lagoon. I forgot about that one. She was not super badass in that. Dazed and Confused. I don't even remember her in that. But yeah, Fifth Element. Joan of Arc. That was The Messenger.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Remember that one? She was badass in that. Zoolander. Then Resident Evil. A bunch of movies I don't recognize. Resident Evil Apocalypse. Ultraviolet. Resident Evil Extinction. The Fourth Kind. Oh, I forgot about that one. The alien one.
She was in The Fourth Kind. I didn't remember.
Resident Evil Afterlife. I don't know any of these ones. Three Musketeers. I don't remember her in that. Resident Evil Retribution. Warrior's Tale. Resident Evil Final Chapter. Zoolander 2. Future World. Hellboy. She was in the newest Hellboy too. I forgot about that. And then Monster Hunter.
Which you loved, the new Hellboy.
Fuck. No,
I still haven't seen it. I need to watch
Really?
it. Yep. I need to watch it.
For a guy who likes bad movies, you don't see any of the ones I accidentally see. All right, guys. Well, let us know who some of your favorite badass ladies are, and let us know what you thought of Black Widow if you've gone to see it. I know by next week we will have seen it too. Hopefully next week we'll have Fabian back to do a Loki.
Oh, that's
review.
right.
We should hit her up, make sure she can do that. So let us know down in the comments. And while you're down there, please like and subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, click the little bell to get notified whenever we drop a new video. Always comes out generally on Wednesdays. I've started doing it on Wednesdays now. I forgot to tell you. But anyway, Wednesdays is podcast days. We record and it comes out. So it's easy to remember. And also, you can become a patron of ours at patreon.com/nerdswithfriends. We do appreciate all our patrons whose names are rising up above us right now. These guys make everything possible. And, I think, we need more badass ladies out there. Wouldn't you say? I think that there's not enough of them.
Well, we're getting Black Widow, but she's also dead.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, exactly. It's a weird time for this movie to come out, especially after we've waited so long for it now because it was supposed to come out back in the before times.
Yeah, before
the COVID. BC.
Before COVID?
Yeah. It was back from the before time, the long, long ago. But I hope it's good. I'm excited. It looks good. What's her name? I like Rachel Weisz a lot. And then the younger Black Widow chick who was in Hereditary.
Midsommar.
Not Midsommar, that's right. She's cool, I guess.
From what I've seen,
she's fine. But I haven't seen much of her, so jury's out. But I know Rachel Weisz is awesome because she was awesome in The Mummy. We didn't even talk about that.
Oh, no.
She was awesome in that, though her eyebrows were fucking stupid. Go back and watch the first Mummy movie and look at her eyebrows and tell me those aren't stupid.
I still thought she was hot.
I think they were time appropriate. I think back in the 20s or 30s or whenever that was, ladies were doing all sorts of wacky shit with their eyebrows. But yeah, they were not cute. But thank you guys. Thank you, Christian, as always, for helping me, dissect these topics. Hopefully we don't get canceled for this episode. We do it out of the kindness of our hearts.
Nah, we're fine.
We're fine. No one listens to this anyway. Just kidding. To all the nerds out there, thank you for listening. And I forget what I normally say. Just kidding. I remembered it. I still haven't thought of what's her face's name though in that movie. But to all the nerds out there, remember, you're not alone. You're with friends. This is Nerds with Friends. Thank you and good night.